So we've already established that the only instrument that we've got as actors is our body. It's therefore critical that we find ways to practice with our body to make it as effective as possible. In this video, we're going to look at the voice, which is clearly a vital component of any actor's repertoire. By the way, this channel gives tons of advice on all aspects of professional acting. Advice that would cost thousands if you got it from a conventional drama school. All we ask in return to enable us to keep doing this is that you like and subscribe. It really does help us out. So what is the voice? In its most basic terms, really, it's just a series of vibrations. It's just the air vibrating going into other people's ears. But as an actor, obviously, it can be much more than that. But from a very basic level now, we are just going to look at how we are going to maximize the sound that is coming out of our bodies, where that sound is made, and how to improve its timbre. So what I want you to start doing, first of all, is to have that nice, wide breath using intercostal diaphragmatic breathing. And then, without any voice, I just want you to bounce on your diaphragm. So just to get that feeling of the air coming up through your vocal cords. Well, be careful not to hyperventilate. But the next thing, now what I want you to do is I want you to start bringing some sound into that. So very gently, I just want you to, in this part of your body, your vocal cords, just very gently start to hum. And feel those vibrations that are taking place in your vocal cords, just getting them warmed up. Now I want you to take that hum and I want you to move it into your mouth. So go from your vocal cords into your mouth. It should start to tickle a little bit on your lips. Just move it forward, just to behind your lips. You're just starting to feel a little bit of vibration. Perhaps it's going to get a little bit bigger. Now we're going to take it and we're going to put it in the cheekbones. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, would be a tough guy. But the thing is that any actor in the entire world does these exercises. It might sound strange, but it's about getting the most out of your instrument. So the next place you can sound and put the sound is in your nose. Now, let's see if we can get it up into the top of our heads. The back of our heads. You might not be able to do that yet, but over time and practice, you've got to do this, or you can do this exercise pretty much every day from now on in. Okay, I want you to be warming up all of these areas every day. Over time, you'll notice that actually you get better and better at it, and the sound resonates more and more around your head, and obviously then you get a better, more rounded sound when you're talking to people, which is essentially your job. So now what I want you to do is I want you to put that vibration into your chest. Feel the vibration there. Now into your back. So now you've got the nice bass registers with your voice and the treble registers with your voice in your head. What I want you to do now is I want you to experiment, and I want you to send that humming sound anywhere in your body. Sounds like singing, doesn't it? But it's the same type of thing. For an actor to have a powerful voice in any kind of role that they're doing, they need to be able to know where the sound is coming from at any given time, right? So at the moment, you might be in the form of conscious incompetence. Maybe you're trying to do it, maybe you can't. Maybe you're at the stage of conscious competence. But I want you to get this right so you go on to unconscious competence with this. So when you speak, the sound naturally resonates all around your body. And once it is resonating all around your body, then you need to look at the specific areas that you want to be concentrating on it coming from when you're acting. So let's put both your hands on your face. Now I want you to send the sound into your hands if you can, and everything that your hands are touching, send a vibration into that. When you take your hands away, it's still there, so this is called your mask. Now, this is a thing that you need to get your voice into. You need to get your voice into your mask, being supported by these lovely ribs that are going outwards and the diaphragm that's going downwards, and then it's supporting it back up again. Every day, I want you to spend at least 5 minutes humming around your body, sending the voice into different parts of your head, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, your throat, the back of your head, your chest, your back. I need you to be doing all of that. That's your job. That's some homework from this lesson. Once you've got the noise coming out nicely, we need to take that and turn it into words. So articulation is a critical part of any actor's toolbox. People need to be able to understand what you're saying. In the same way that with our breath, we naturally become lazy and we don't use all of our lung capacity, with our articulation, we become incredibly lazy. And we elude words, we slide things together. So what I want you to now be doing is to be really concentrating on articulating properly and getting that musculature right, the musculature that you need to be able to articulate properly. You need those muscles to start working as properly as they can. So this next section I want you to think of as going to the gym for your voice, because literally that's what we're going to do. We're going to build up the muscularity of your organs of articulation. Your organs of articulation are your tongue, your teeth, your lips, a little bit of the jaw and the cheeks. I want you to be doing these exercises now, every day, for the rest of your life. It's really important that we make sure that we're building up the neurons between our brain and those organs of articulation. You need to be doing it every day, and you need to do it to the point where you feel a tingle, where it's maybe starting to hurt a little bit. So I'm going to give you the basic ones. Later on in the course, we go on to some more advanced ones. But for now, regardless of what you look like, I want you to do exactly what I'm saying. So the first one is that I want you to imagine that you're eating the biggest chewing gum in the world. Okay, I want you to be chewing away at it. It's coming out of your mouth. You've got to get it to go back in. So the more movement that you can make, the better. So it's going to be something like this. Now, it should start to be a little bit painful at that point. Just to push it up until it then stop when it becomes painful, obviously. But just get it really working. Okay, so you've got a bit of feeling going on in there. The next one is a very, very odd one, and I want you to be specific again. In the same way that you need to isolate muscles in the gym, with this you need to isolate as well. So I want you to make a with your lips, but I don't want any other movement going on. I don't want your head going up and down. I don't want your jaw going like that. Just your lips. So it's just going.
Again.
Keep working it. Very strange again. People will think you're mad if they see you're doing it, but you're doing it for a very good reason. And they come in. You need to do it until it starts to tingle. It's just until it starts hurting and then stop. But this is the thing, same as when you're at the gym. Just build up the feeling. Build up the feeling of what is going on in your mouth. These are where the words are coming from. When you've got the muscularity right in there, then everything works well for you. The next thing that you need to work on is you need to work on your tongue. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to stick your tongue out as far as it'll go and make a nice point from it. Okay, and then I want you to point it north. And I want you to point it south. Then I want you to point it east. And I want you to point it west. Okay, now I'm going to talk you through it, right? Okay, so I want you to be going north, east, south, west, east, north, south, north, east, west, north, east, south, north, east, west. Now, I don't know whether it's hurting yet. Obviously, stop doing it as soon as it might be hurting, but keep doing it until that point, until those neurons, they get written and the tongue gets a little bit stronger and you can become a little bit more precise with it. So you start to become aware. In the same way, when you're at school, they make you practice with a pencil, don't they? So that, you know, you colour in between the lines, make sure you don't go over the lines. You become more skilled and more dexterous with a pencil as you get older and older and older. I want you now to apply that to your tongue, to the organs of articulation, so that you become equally adept with your tongue and your lips and your jaw when you're speaking as you are when you're with that crayon when you're writing. Now I'm going to leave you with one little tongue twister that I want you to be working on again, okay, with this. And it's a little thing that talks about the organs of articulation. So it will remind you that we work with the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Now, what's critical with this is that you are using the tip. Okay, so I want you to be using the tip on the hard palate and behind your teeth. There. People fall into the trap of doing this. The tip, I mean, that's an over-exaggeration, but the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. It's not a very crisp sound when you do that. So I want you to be saying the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, Work it really hard. Make sure you get it dead right. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. We'll be doing a lot of that, but it's kind of boring stuff, but it is the stuff that you need to be doing to improve your technique. It's the stuff that you need to be doing behind the scenes, and it's the stuff that every single actor in the world that's successful does on a daily basis. See you in the next lesson.